Welcome back to English 520. Today, I want to share a very effective method to learn English. It is the reading method. We will learn through the story of Mr. Lin. He is an older friend of our channel. He found a key to open the door to English. He did it in a gentle way, with no pressure and full of joy. If you ever thought you were too old to learn, or your eyes were too tired to read, this video is for you. Please make a cup of warm tea. Sit in your most comfortable chair. Let's start this journey together. Many learners think reading is boring or slow, but reading is actually very interesting and useful. It is full of surprises. It is a simple habit. It can help you speak more fluently, feel more confident, and be more creative. Part 1. Mr. Lin's Fear and a New Beginning. Today, I want to tell you a story about Mr. Lin. He is a kind 65-year-old man. He has lived his whole life in Taiwan. His life was very peaceful. In the morning, he went to the market. In the afternoon, he drank tea with friends. In the evening, he watched the news. Every day was gentle like that for many years. Everything was as familiar to him as breathing. But one day, he decided to move to Canada. He wanted to live with his son and take care of his grandchildren. It seemed like a simple decision, but it brought many challenges he never expected at his age. When the plane landed in Canada, Mr. Lin felt like he was in a strange new world. People walked very fast. They spoke so quickly that he only heard strange sounds. Every word flew past his ears like a strong wind. He tried to listen. He tried to catch the words. But he could not understand anything. One afternoon, while drinking tea with me, he told me a story. His eyes were full of tears. He said, "You know, I feel like a 3-year-old child. I want to speak. I want to ask questions. I want to share my thoughts, but I cannot open my mouth. I want to understand why my grandchildren are laughing. But in front of me, there is only a thick fog." That sentence made me silent for a long time. It is the feeling of many older people living abroad. They feel lonely and helpless. Mr. Lin's fear grew bigger every day. It got into every small part of his life. He was afraid of the phone ringing because he did not know how to answer. He was afraid to go to the supermarket alone. He was afraid of the cashier because he did not understand her. He was afraid of bothering the people waiting behind him. He was even afraid to meet his kind neighbor next door. When they smiled and said hello, he just looked down. He avoided them. It wasn't because he wasn't friendly. It was because he was afraid. He was afraid his old mouth would make silly sounds. He was afraid people would laugh. That is a very real feeling for an older person lost in an English-speaking land. But life always opens a new door when we feel hopeless. One gray, rainy day, he could not go to the park for exercise. He walked around the house, feeling bored. He stopped in front of his 7-year-old granddaughter's bookshelf. Small, colorful books were sitting there. A thin comic book caught his eye. It had cute drawings. He was curious, so he picked it up. It was a story about farm life. This was a topic he loved: chickens, ducks, cows, sun, and rain. He opened the first page. Outside, the rain was falling. He could smell the new paper. The moment he started reading was special. His journey to learn English turned in a completely new direction. With the small book in his hand, Mr. Lin felt relieved. He realized he didn't have to run after anyone. No more English spoken as fast as lightning. No more feeling left behind. No more worry about people judging him. The book stayed still in his hand. He could look at the words as long as he wanted. He could read a sentence 10 times. It did not matter. No one rushed him. No one looked at him. No one judged him. He looked at the picture of a chicken. Then he looked at the word chicken. He smiled. He looked at a picture of the night. Then he looked at the word night. He nodded his head. If he didn't understand, he put on his glasses. He read it again. He read slowly, bit by bit. No pressure, no fear. Only peace. And that peace comforted his worries. From that small book, Mr. Lin learned a very valuable lesson. I want to send this message to everyone learning English in their later years. Reading is the most patient and kind teacher. This teacher never tells you to be fast, never laughs when you forget a simple word, never complains when you spend a whole afternoon understanding just one page, never pressures you or makes you feel shy. That teacher just waits for you, quietly, step by step. Where you read, the teacher goes with you. If you are slow, the teacher is slow too. Only when you truly understand and truly feel confident does that teacher lead you to the next page. And that is how Mr. Lin's English journey started again. It was very gentle, very ordinary, but very strong. No noise, no hurry, no pressure. Just an older man patiently opening each page, letting English come into his life in the most natural way. Part 2. Why is reading so magical? Many of us often think, to be good at English, I must speak a lot. I must open my mouth and talk. If I don't speak, I won't improve. This sounds right. But if we think carefully, something is missing. To speak, we must have something in our heads to say. It is like going to the market. If you have no money in your pocket, what can you buy? Learning English is the same. To speak smoothly and easily, first, you must have money in your pocket. That money is vocabulary. And the gentlest way to get vocabulary, with no pressure, is reading. Read books, read stories, read the news, read anything that makes you feel comfortable. The garden analogy, I often compare our brain to a backyard garden. If every day we try to force ourselves to memorize dry grammar rules, it is like throwing stones into the garden. If there are too many stones, no plants can grow. But if each day we spend a few minutes reading a small story, a short news piece, or just a few lines from a friend, it is different. It is like watering and caring for that garden. You don't need to flood it with water. You just need to do it regularly. Gentle rain soaks deep. The seeds of vocabulary will sprout, slowly but surely. The story of the bear, I remember a story Mr. Lin told me. It made me think a lot. One day, he read a comic book. There was a picture of a bear lost in the woods at night. In the story, there was a word he had never seen, frightened. Normally, people would open a dictionary immediately. But he didn't. He looked closely at the picture. The bear was trembling. It was hugging a tree tightly. Its eyes looked worried, like a child who lost his mother. Just by looking, Mr. Lin guessed right away. He must be very scared. And he understood the meaning of the word naturally. He did not have to struggle. The interesting thing happened a few days later. He was watching the news on TV. The reporter used the word frightened to talk about people waiting for a big storm. When he heard that word, the image of the trembling bear appeared in his head. Just one small image, but he remembered the word forever. He remembered it in a very daily life way. No writing it down. No memorizing. No repeating it like a machine. That is how to learn vocabulary with breath, with images, and with emotion. When you learn like that, words go into your head very gently. It is like breathing, or like your morning tea, slow, quiet, but very deep. What about grammar? Then comes the part many people fear, grammar. Just hearing this word, many older friends feel a headache. Mentioning subject, verb, object brings back old memories of school exams. But when you read books, everything becomes softer. We don't have to try to remember formulas. We just watch how native speakers write and use words. Take Mr. Lin, for example. In this story, he saw the sentence, he decided to buy a car. In another book he saw, she decided to go home. Then in another story he saw, decided to, again. He met it again and again, naturally and regularly. At one point, he realized, after the word decide, there is always the word to. He didn't need a notebook. He didn't need to study hard. His eyes just got used to it. His ears got used to it. It is like a familiar song. If someone sings one word wrong, you know it immediately. That is language sense. Native speakers have it naturally. We have to build it over time. And reading is the shortest, gentlest road to get there. More benefits of reading. The benefits of reading do not stop there. Reading helps your ears hear English better. When you see words in books many times, like however, storm, finally, suddenly, later, when you watch movies or news, you will recognize them instantly. Your ears get sharper, bit by bit. Reading helps you write better. Through short paragraphs, we learn how native speakers start a story, how they describe things, and how they connect ideas. We stop writing by translating every word like a machine. Your sentences will become softer and more natural. Reading helps you speak more fluently. Unconsciously, we learn common sentence patterns. When we open our mouths to speak, the words flow out. No stopping, no confusion. Reading opens the world in your mind. Each page, even just a few lines, helps us understand how native speakers think and live. This gives you confidence when you talk to them. You know you are talking to a culture, not just using a language. Finally, the most important thing, reading brings relaxation. We learn, but we don't feel like we are studying. No pressure. No competition. Just quiet time for yourself. And learning in peace is always the most lasting way to learn. You only need 10 to 15 minutes a day. You don't need much. You don't need to try too hard. Just keep it regular, like your habit of drinking tea in the morning. Then, one day, you will be surprised at how far your English has come. It is just like the garden in the backyard. You water it a little every day, and when you look back, it is green and beautiful without you even noticing. Part 3. Mr. Lin's Method. Simple and effective. Now, there is a question that many people ask. I want to start reading like Mr. Lin, but my English is very poor. I only understand a little bit. What should I do? Please don't worry. You really don't need to be good at English from the start. Mr. Lin, the man in our story, also started from zero. He did not choose a hard or complicated way to learn. He just followed a very gentle, slow method. I like to call it the gentle rain soaks deep method. This method is very simple. It has 3 steps. Anyone can do it. Step 1, choose books that fit you. This is the most important step. It decides 70% of your success. If you choose wrong, you will easily give up. We are older adults. We don't need to force ourselves to read economic news, political reports, or difficult academic lessons. Even young people get tired reading those things. Mr. Lin understands himself very well, so he chose graded readers. These are books written specifically for adults learning English. The content is still for adults, life stories, family, travel, feelings, but the words are simple, the sentences are short, and they are easy to read. For example, instead of writing a long sentence like, "She became panicked and desperate," the book just writes, "She was sad. She cried." That's it. It is much easier to understand. Books for beginners usually say, Level 1. You just need to choose this level. If you open a page and see too many new words and everything looks strange, close it immediately. Here is an easy rule to remember. If one page has more than 10 new words, the book is too hard. Switch to another book. Reading is for relaxation and joy. It is not to punish yourself. Sometimes you just need to read a few sentences, smile a little, and feel relaxed. That is enough. If learning English is stressful, no one can keep doing it. Step 2. 15 minutes with a cup of tea. Short but regular. Older adults cannot sit for 2 or 3 hours like young people. Sitting for a long time makes our backs hurt, our eyes tired, and makes us sleepy. So, Mr. Lin made a rule for himself. Study exactly 15 minutes a day. No more, no less. This is the time after he finishes watering his plants. He makes a cup of hot tea. his mind is most comfortable. He divides these 15 minutes into 3 parts. The first 5 minutes, skimming reading fast. He reads quickly just to see what is happening. Who are the characters? Where are they? What are they doing? You don't need to understand everything. You just need to know the general idea. It is like meeting a friend at the market. You say a quick hello, then you keep walking. The next 5 minutes, reading carefully. In this part, Mr. Lin reads slowly. He tries to guess the meaning of new words by looking at the pictures and the story context. He guesses, is the character scared or happy? Are they running or standing still? This way of learning helps the brain exercise gently. No stress. Older people are very good at this guessing method. The last 5 minutes, reading aloud. This is the most important part. When we get older, our mouth and tongue are not as flexible as when we were young. Reading out loud helps. Your mouth becomes softer. Your ears get used to English sounds. You feel confident when talking. You feel less shy when you pronounce a word wrong. Just read a short paragraph. 3 or 4 lines are enough. You don't need to read perfectly. Just read clearly. Many people told me, I read out loud for a few days, and my mouth feels much more natural. Step 3. Don't rush to use the dictionary. Reading smoothly is more important. This is a habit that stops many people from improving. Whenever they see a new word, they stop. They open their phone. They look for the meaning. Doing this is like watching a good movie and being interrupted by commercials. You lose interest. You lose the emotion. Mr. Lin does it differently. He ignores the new word and continues reading. He thinks simply, if the word is important, it will appear again. If he sees it the second time, he pays more attention. If he sees it the third time and still doesn't understand, then he looks it up. This helps him read smoothly without stopping. When he looks it up, he does not write the word alone. He writes the whole sentence containing that word. For example, he does not write just delicious. He writes the full sentence, the soup was delicious. Why? Writing the sentence helps you remember longer. When you are in the right situation, the sentence comes out naturally. You don't have to try to memorize dry words. Many people followed Mr. Lin and said, writing sentences like this is easy to remember. When I see good food, I remember the sentence immediately. You see, learning English is not a big, scary thing. You just need to. Choose books that fit your level. Spend 15 minutes a day. Read naturally, don't force it. Don't rush to use the dictionary. Write down sentences, not single words. That is the path Mr. Lin walked. And you can do it too. Gently, slowly, but you will surely improve. Part 4. Bringing English into daily life. Dear friends, Mr. Lin discovered something very special after spending time with his small books. At first, he thought learning English meant sitting at a desk, opening a book, and studying hard. But the more he learned, the more he understood, reading and learning are not just inside books. English appears in the most normal things around us, where we walk, what we hold, and the food we cook every day. And that makes learning become as gentle and natural as breathing. Mr. Lin told me, I didn't expect that this whole city, from the supermarket to the park to my own kitchen, could become my classroom. And I believe, whether you are in Taiwan, America, or anywhere else, you can do exactly the same. Before, when going to the supermarket, Mr. Lin only looked at pictures on the packages and bought things quickly. Sometimes, when he got home, he was surprised because he bought the wrong things. Some items were too sweet, some were expired. But now, it is different. Every time he goes to the supermarket, he does not rush. He pushes the cart slowly. He looks at every shelf. He reads the small words on the packages. He says, the supermarket is like a library. Every item is a page of a book. Little by little, he learned very useful words. Expiration date. He reads this so he doesn't buy old food. Sugar-free. This helps him choose healthy food because the doctor told him to eat less sugar. Ingredients, to know what is inside and if it is good for his body. Organic, to choose clean vegetables for his meals. Every time he understands a word on a package, Mr. Lin feels very happy. He feels more proactive and confident. He doesn't need to ask young staff members. He doesn't need his children to translate for him. The feeling of I understand it myself is so pleasant and warm. Even when he tells me the story, a smile still stays on his face. Sometimes he stands in the middle of the supermarket, holding a carton of milk, smiling. People think he is looking at something delicious, but actually, he is happy because he understood a new English word. That joy is simple and gentle. It is like finding control over his own life again. When Mr. Lin walks in the park, goes to the subway station, or walks around his neighborhood, he starts to notice signs. Before, he never looked at them. In the past, those English words looked like secret codes to him. The more he looked, the more confused he felt. But now, they are different. They have become new friends to help him find his way. He sees the sign priority seat on the train. He knows it is a seat for older people, pregnant women, or people with disabilities. He sits down confidently. He doesn't worry about anyone correcting him. He sees the words, mind the gap. He understands he must be careful of the space between the train and the platform. Walking in the park, he sees no smoking. He nods his head because now he doesn't need anyone to explain it. The signs that were once cold and strange are now familiar. They don't scare him anymore. They are signals that help him move safely and freely. Mr. Lin shared, learning these small things makes my life here much less lonely. I understand the world around me more. And so, I don't feel lost anymore. Of all the ways to learn, Mr. Lin likes learning while cooking the most. He says that in the kitchen, English becomes close and easy to remember. His hands do the work, his eyes see, and his mouth reads. All senses work together. Learning like this is not tiring. It is actually fun. One day, he wanted to make butter cookies for his grandchildren. He didn't choose a Chinese recipe. He chose a very simple English recipe on the internet, and he followed it line by line. He read, mix the flour and sugar. He took a bowl and mixed the flour with sugar, just like the word mix. He read, add butter. He gently put pieces of butter into the bowl. Then the step, bake for 20 minutes. He turned on the oven, set the time, and stood watching it work. He felt both excited and happy. He said he didn't need to memorize words like mix, add, bake, stir, because his hands did those words. Every time he mixes flour, he remembers mix. Every time he stirs, he remembers stir. When the golden, crispy cookies came out of the oven and the smell of butter filled the kitchen, his grandchildren ran over laughing. Grandpa is so great. That pride made all his fear of English disappear. He said, I just need to improve a little bit every day, just a little, and I feel my life has more meaning. Mr. Lin's story reminds us, English is not just in books. It is in a bag of rice, in a box of milk, on a sign at the train station, and in every meal we cook. We just need to open our hearts and learn bit by bit. Life will be much gentler. If you are learning English, please try to do what Mr. Lin did. No pressure. No hurry. Just one small thing every day. Then one day, you will be surprised at how much you have improved. Part 5. Overcoming loneliness and connecting with people. Do you know what the most precious gift from reading is for Mr. Lin? It is not just simply more vocabulary. The biggest, most magical gift is confidence. After 3 months of patience, spending exactly 15 minutes a day with his morning tea, Mr. Lin saved up a small treasure in his mind. These were common sentences and daily words he picked up from books. He was like a businessman with money in his pocket, just waiting for a chance to spend it. And that chance came on a beautiful morning. When Mr. Lin walked out the gate, he saw his foreign neighbor pruning rose bushes in the yard. If this was before, Mr. Lin would look down. He would pretend not to see, give a quick smile, and walk away very fast because he was afraid to talk. But today was different. Suddenly, paragraphs from a gardening book he read appeared in his head. Words about trees and flowers came back to him. He felt he had something to say. He had a topic to discuss. He took a deep breath. He gathered all his courage to walk to the fence. He gave a friendly smile and spoke. "Your flowers are beautiful. Do you water them every day?" The neighbor heard the greeting, looked up in surprise, and then smiled very brightly. He answered happily and started talking about his flowers. So, two men, one older man from Taiwan and one local man, had a happy short chat right by the fence. Of course, Mr. Lin could not speak fast like the wind. His voice was still slow. Sometimes he forgot verbs or used the wrong tense. But does that matter? Not at all. The important thing is he was not shaking with fear anymore. The important thing is he broke the invisible wall of silence that surrounded him for months. He was no longer a lonely stranger in a foreign land. He connected with people here. Those small books prepared scripts for him to use in real life. Thanks to reading, he knew how to give a polite compliment. He knew how to ask about health warmly, or simply how to talk about the weather and plants. He didn't need to scratch his head to think of new words. He just used what he learned in the books. Dear friends, Mr. Lin's journey can be your journey too. We, the older adults, have an advantage that young people don't have: patience and life experience. When we read, we don't just read vocabulary. We read about life, about culture, and about the joys and sorrows of humanity. We understand the meaning behind the words deeply. Don't set a goal to pass an exam or speak fast like the wind. Set a simpler goal. Today, I know one new thing that is interesting. Start today. You don't need to look far. You can find short bilingual stories on the internet or download free reading apps. Please remember, if your eyes are tired, rest. If it is too hard, skip it. If it is good, read it again. Treat reading English like taking care of a potted plant on your porch. Every day, water it a little. Remove a few dead leaves. You won't see it grow big tomorrow, but one beautiful day, you will see it bloom brightly. And when you can read a letter from a faraway friend by yourself, or read a fairy tale to your little grandchild in English, you will see that all your effort was worth it. Your heart will open wide, and the world will become closer than ever. Thank you for listening to Mr. Lin's story and English 520. If you like this video, please give us a like and share it with your friends. Please leave a comment below. What is the first book or story you plan to read? I really want to hear from you. I wish you good health and joy in every page. Goodbye and see you again.